Okay, hello everyone. Time for another virtual freight dog flight. Today's flight will be from Echo 00 Alpha, that is Stockholm Arlanda, to Echo November Golf Mike, which is the Gardermoen in Norway. I have set up everything that I need to. Currently sitting at gate Foxtrot 37 at Stockholm Arlanda, and the next thing I'll do is get the aircraft running. Today I'll be flying with VoxATC, training for flying online, so I get used to speaking to ATC. Okay, now let's jump on over to the cockpit. Here we are. Let's get everything set up. We're currently connected to external power. Batteries are on. Now I'll turn on the fuel pumps and start the alignment process. Navigation lights are on. Seatbelt signs on. No smoking auto, emergency exit lights armed. Let's turn on the navigation display. Primary flight display. Upper ECAM, lower ECAM. Let's clear the reset IRS to nav warning. Turn on the radios. And hit initialization. Align IRS. Flight from Echo 00 Alpha to Echo November Golf Mike. Flight number is FinCargo. Let's check. FinCargo 2046. 2046. Cost index 55. Cruising altitude 340. Alternate for today's flight. The primary alternate is Echo November Fox Golf. Echo November Fox Golf. And the block fuel, let's check, 4.5 tons. Now we are good to start today's flight. First I'll listen to the ATIS, which is provided by VoxATC. So the ATIS frequency, one thing I'll do first is I'll set up the radio so that I can monitor both, listen on both the COM1 and COM2, and broadcast on COM1. Okay, now I'll tune 119.00. 9.00 and transfer.
Arrivals using runway 01 right. Wind 15 degrees, 7 knots. Visibility greater than 20 kilometers. Cloud broken at 4,700 feet. Temperature 102.8. QNH 1018. No sig. Advise you have information. Bravo. This is Arlanda. Information. Bravo. 0631 Zulu. Departures using runway 01 left. Arrivals using runway 01 right. Wind 15 degrees, 7 knots. Visibility greater than 20 kilometers.
Okay, so winds from 15 at 7 knots, that means runway 01. Takeoff, clouds broken at 4,700 feet, temperature 10, QNH 1018. Let me tune the barrel setting. 1018. There we go. Next is time to contact Arlanda clearance, and that's on 121.825. 825. Oops. Arlanda clearance, fin cargo 2018, radio
Fin
check.
Cargo 2046, Arlanda clearance, pass your message. Air. Blast aircraft, say again.
Okay, what was our flight number? 2046. 2046. I'll write that down so I don't forget it again. Arlanda clearance, fin cargo 2048, radio check 121.82.
Fin Cargo 2046, readability 5.
Readability 5 also, fin cargo 2048. Okay, now we seem to have working radios. Arlanda clearance, fin cargo 2048, ready for clearance, Gardermoen.
Fin Cargo 2046, stand by. Fin Cargo 2046, clear to Gardermoen Airport, Aeros for Charlie, departure, then as filed, maintain flight level 60 squawk 3014.
Fin cargo 2048 is cleared to Gardermoen Airport, Aeros for Charlie departure, then as filed. Maintain flight level 60 squawk 3014.
Fin Cargo 2046, feedback correct.
Okay, now we have our clearance. Let's set up the autopilot, speed managed, heading will be runway heading, altitude, the initial altitude is 6,000 feet. There we go. And for the squawk, it was 3014. Now the next thing I'll do is open EFB. We are currently sitting here at gate Foxtrot 37, and for the departure we received Arfos 4 Sierra. Let me just double check. Yes. So 01 left, take off. Let's zoom in a bit. It was Aros 4 Charlie. So above 600, maximum speed 205, then a left turn above 1500 feet, max speed 205, and then no more restrictions. Activate. And let's program the route. Departure 01 left, Aros 4 Charlie, insert. Then from Aros we'll take, I'll have to open the flight plan. Alpha Romember Sierra on November 623 to ESSA, and then for the arrival. And let's program that in. So it was November 623 to ESSA, and then on to the arrival. So let's clear the flight plan discontinuity, and do the same for the alternate airport. Now we have the route set up. Let me just check the constraints. First waypoint above 600, maximum 205. Next is maximum 205 above 1500. Well, these are hard constraints that are programmed in, but they will do. And there's a limit of 250 or below when flying below flight level 100. And one thing that I forgot to do is start FS2 crew. EU voice set, APU start, 30 minutes, and run.
Hi Cap, how are you today?
Fine, thank you. Then for the performance data, our takeoff weight is 53.0 tons. Let's get the latest weather for the performance calculation. A bit different weather than we received. I'll use the weather that we were given. So it was, oops, it was 015 at 7 knots. Temperature was 10, QNH 1018. 53 point, yes. Flaps config optimum, thrust config normal, air conditioning on, anti-ice not required. Compute. Okay. We are quite light today regarding the weights. And even when flexing to 68 degrees with config 1 plus F, we still would have a margin of 1600 meters. So That seems good. The V-speed is 140 for V1, V-rotate 140, V2 142. And now let's enter the performance data. We'll be using config 1+F. And we were flexing to 68. And the V-speeds were, I'll enter 139er for the V1, 140 for V-rotate, and 142 for V2. And thrust reduction, so the I'll set it to 3,000 feet above airfield elevation, so it would be 3,137 for the acceleration altitude. Okay, there we have it. We should be all set. As I was late in activating FS2 crew, I'll have to fast forward a bit. We currently have APU running and also on external power, so time to contact ground. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please disconnect external power.
Roger, disconnecting GPU. Captain, the GPU is now disconnected.
Thank you. And I can see that the external power available light has extinguished. So now I'll have to fast forward to get the co-pilot back to the cockpit.
Clearance, Scandinavian 961 radio check, 1 decimal into.
Scandinavian 961. Readability 5.
I'm back from the walk around.
Hey Captain, may we start the boarding now?
Yes.
Great.
Before start procedure.
Okay. Captain, we got a door still open.
And now for the departure brief. We'll be using standard instrument departure procedure, config 1+F for the flaps, runway is dry, anti-ice not required, packs will be on.
Are you ready for the takeoff brief?
Go ahead.
Okay, we have no mail issues today. I will be the pilot flying. It will be a standard takeoff using noise abatement procedure 1, and we will be flexing to 8 degrees. We will use config 1 for takeoff. One-way condition is dry. As for the anti-ice, it's not required. The packs will be on. We will use standard calls today. At or below 100 knots, I'll reject for any warnings. Below V1, I will only reject for an engine failure, fire of any kind, configuration warning, or anything I deem will adversely affect the safety of the aircraft. I will reject the takeoff by calling stop. If you could monitor that the auto brakes have activated and that the spoilers are deployed. Once we stop, if there's a fire, I'll position that side of the aircraft to be downwind, and we'll evacuate through the open side.
Feedback correct.
I'll advise the cabin, and you talk to ATC. Above V1, we'll take the aircraft into the air and sort it out there and decide if we need to return to the airfield. If you notice anything amiss during the takeoff roll, please notify me. Any questions?
That's checked and no questions.
Takeoff brief complete.
So one thing that I checked while the departure briefing was playing is that will be the pushback will be tail left from this angle, and in FS2 crew pushback config that means tail right. So when we push back, we'll have the tail going this way and our nose pointing this way, as the runway should be visible right here. The 01 left. Okay, back to the cockpit. Before start, checklist to the line. Oops, I have it muted. Before start, checklist to the line.
Before start, checklist down to the line. Cockpit preparation.
Completed.
Completed. Gear pins and covers.
Removed.
Signs.
On and auto.
ADIRS.
Nav.
Fuel quantity.
4.5 tons. Checked.
Takeoff data.
Set.
Barrel ref.
1018 set.
1018 set. Before start, checklist completed to the line.
Okay, now let's tune ground.
Checked.
One, 2, 1.0. I'll use my hardware controller for changing the frequencies. So and this is why you don't see me changing frequencies from the normal radio panel inside the aircraft. Okay, this is one funny thing about VoxATC. When there's different controllers for ground, for example here in Arlanda there is west ground. What I have to do is ask the startup clearance from ground west ground. So just explaining why you'll be hearing me repeating the word ground. Ground west ground. Fin cargo 2048, request startup. Okay, that didn't work, so I'll use ground anyplace. That's a shortcut for VoxATC. Ground anyplace, fin cargo 2048, request startup.
Last aircraft, say again.
Ground anyplace, fin cargo 2046, request startup.
Fin cargo 2046, roger.
Ground, fin cargo 2046, request startup.
Fin cargo 2046, startup approved.
Roger, fin cargo 2048. Whoa, I have 48 and 46. Now that might explain why there's a discrepancy. For VoxATC I've set up 2046 and on my paper I have written down 2048. Let's see what was the number 4846. So I have that's my error. I should have wrote down on my paper 2046. Okay, now in order for us to start the pushback, I'll have to get the doors closed. We still have doors open, so I'll start fast forwarding with FS2 crew.
Hello, Captain. The passenger boarding is complete, and when you're ready, I have the load sheet for you.
Thank you.
Have a safe flight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board our flight today. As you locate your
Before start,
seats,
below the
please
line.
place your smaller items under your seats in front
Before
of you
start, checklist below the
to
line.
provide more room for larger items in the overhead bins. If you need assistance with it, please contact one of our
Okay.
flight attendants.
Checked.
If you are
Roger,
unable to
cockpit.
accommodate any
Go ahead.
item,
Alright, Captain, we are removing the jetway now.
and we will
Thank
check
you.
it for you.
Let's
We
start
also
again.
request that you review
Okay.
the safety instruction in
Before
your
start,
seat
checklist
pocket.
below the line.
If you are seated
Before start, checklist below the line.
Also
Windows and doors.
the exit seating criteria.
Closed.
Closed. Beacon.
On.
Thrust levers.
Idle.
Parking brake.
Set.
Before start, checklist complete.
Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
We are cleared for push and start. We are ready for push back and engine start.
Okay, all doors and hatches are closed. The pin has been inserted, the beacon is rotating. Engine intakes are clear, the chocks have been removed. Release the parking brake please and stand by.
Brakes released.
Roger on the brakes, starting the push. And you're clear to start engine number 2.
Okay, Captain. Cabin is ready to go.
Thank you. Starting number 2.
If you need anything, just let me know.
One thing that I forgot to do was put the ignition on. Starting number 2. How are we doing on the pushback? Quite fine. Nothing to hit. Engine 2 is now running. Starting number 1. Stop pushback.
Roger. Pushback is complete. Set parking brakes please.
Brake set.
Okay, Captain, the tug is removed and I see you on the right hand side with the pin.
Okay, we have 2 good engine starts, so ignition back to normal and cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
You are clear to disconnect and go to hand signals.
Have a safe flight.
Thank you. After start procedure.
Check. Flaps 1 plus F.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome.
Auto brakes max for rejected takeoff
Please direct your attention
and
to the cabin
arm
crew
the
for safety
ground spoilers.
information. First, there is an instruction card in your seat pocket that illustrates
After start
safety
checklist.
equipment for
After start,
this
checklist.
aircraft.
Anti-ice.
Regulations
Off.
require compliance
ENGM
with
status.
this information as well as all crew instructions.
Checked.
United Information
Pitch
signs
trim.
composes placards.
Set.
Rudder trim.
Fasten your seatbelt
Set.
by inserting the metal
After
tip
start,
into
checklist
the
complete.
Tighten
I'll
the
check the
seatbelt
rudder.
by pulling on the belt.
Go.
To release your seatbelt, lift the metal flap on the buckle. It is our policy that you keep your seatbelt
And time to
fastened
ask for taxi
all times
clearance.
when you seat. Doors are clearly marked with exit signs and instructions for door operation. Each door is equipped with an escape slide.
Ground, Fincargo 2046 at gate Foxtrot 37, ready taxi with clearance.
In an
Fincargo
emergency, lights will
2046,
illuminate
taxi to
the
holding
aircraft.
point, runway 01,
The
left
cabin
by the
is
Zulu,
pressurized.
and Yankee are
If
led
there's a loss
to
of cabin
UNA
pressure, the panel will
1018.
open and the oxygen masks will appear.
What was the last number?
In such case, remain seated with your seatbelts fastened and pull the mask towards you to start the flow of oxygen. Oxygen will be flowing to the mask even though
Taxi to
the
holding
bag may
point
not
runway
inflate.
01 left via
Nose
Zulu
mouth
and
with the
Yankee
mask, place
Q
the left
and
hand around your head and
H1018.
tighten by pulling on the ends.
Last
Secure
airplane
mask
again.
before assisting other passengers.
Taxi to runway 01 left via Zulu and Yankee QNH 1018, fin cargo 2046.
Please don't do this before you leave the aircraft.
That's correct.
If the jacket fails to inflate, use
Now
the
let's see how it looks
tube
on the EFB.
Your jacket is equipped with a light that automatically illuminates when it is in touch with water. This is a non-smoking flight. Smoking is not permitted in the cabin or
And we'll be using Zulu, then Yankee.
Cabin lights will now be turned off during takeoff, and reading lights are
So
located above your seats. Thank you for your attention.
left turn to Zulu, then down on to...
Checked.
Well, maybe we'll take... From Zulu we should take Yankee, maybe from Sierra Charlie. That might be a good idea. And then on to holding point runway 01 left. And one cool thing about EFB is I can also control the radios from this view. One thing that I'll do, I'm not sure which tower we will receive for the departure. Let's see if the... But what I can do is now select this tower frequency and set it as standby frequency for my COM1. There we go. So in case we...
Check.
I'll have to... There we go. So in case I guessed correctly, now I have 118.5 as a standby frequency. And now let me show it to you. There we go. EFB tuned 118.5 as a standby. Okay, now we should be ready to taxi. Clear on the left. I'm still clear on the left.
Clear on the right.
And as we get rolling, I'll press the takeoff config test. Everything checks out normal. Before takeoff checklist to the line. Before takeoff checklist down to the line. Okay. Let's start again.
Okay.
Before takeoff checklist to the line.
Before takeoff checklist down to the line. Flight controls.
Checked.
Checked. Flight instruments.
Scandinavian 961.
Checked.
Our landed tower
Checked.
1.8.5.
Confirmed.
Flap setting.
Config 1 plus F.
Config 1 plus F. V1, VR, V2, flex temp.
Set.
V1 is 139. V rotate is 140. V2 is 142. And for the flex temp we have 68 degrees. ATC.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Takeoff, no blue.
Before takeoff checklist completed to the line.
I don't know if you can see the... Oops.
Flight deck. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Captain, the cabin is secure.
There's another aircraft taking off. Set. Whoops, is there a vehicle coming at me? Okay.
Checked.
No, do not pull the heading. Okay, what am I supposed to do now? I got a vehicle standing right in front of me. Please, sir. Okay, I'll have to go around him by using the taxiways. I don't want to end my flight here by running into the vehicle. So off I go. Let's check that there is no other traffic coming from there. That side, no traffic. Oops. And I was about to talk about the taxi instructions in VoxATC. As you could see, the Zulu and Yankee didn't connect, or in fact they connected in many places. So what I'm supposed to do is follow these green dots on the ground if I want to do exactly what VoxATC meant. So my guess was correct. What VoxATC wanted us to use the Zulu taxiway, and then from the Sierra Charlie turn on to taxiway Yankee. And now we're turning on to taxiway Yankee. Cabin crew seats for departure.
46, contact our landing tower 118.5.
118.5. Fincargo 2046. And expect I was lucky with my guess, so now I'll tune the 118.5.
Scandinavian 961. Contact Stockholm approach 123.75.
123.75. Scandinavian 961.
I'll stop here at the whole short point and quickly look at the chat window. Yes, there's a question. How did I get the taxi lights to work? Yeah, I think I answered the question while I was taxiing. They are put on there by VoxATC to help the pilot in case there's a discrepancy. So, okay, now time for a takeoff, and hopefully there will be no vehicles on the runway. Arlanda Tower, Fincargo 2046, ready for departure.
Fincargo 2046. After departure, climb to flight level 60.
After departure, climb to flight level 60, Fincargo 2046.
Fincargo 2046. Wind 017. 7, clear takeoff.
Cleared for takeoff, Fincargo 2046. After takeoff checklist, below the line. Oops. What I meant was before takeoff checklist, below the line. And I have him muted. Before takeoff checklist, below the line. Set. Let's start again.
Okay.
Before takeoff checklist, below the line.
Before takeoff checklist, below the line. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Are you sure about that? TCAS.
TA.
Engine mode selector.
Normal.
X.
On.
Before takeoff checklist complete.
And my co-pilot has managed to make a mess of my heading, so I'll have to correct.
Checked.
Take off. Take off. Manual effects, 68 degrees SRS runway. And the co-pilot is sleeping. I'll rotate. Positive rate. Gear up.
Gear up.
Cargo 2046. Contact Stockholm approach 123.75.
One, 2, 3.75. Fin cargo 2046. I'll engage the autopilot for now, because I'll have to work the radios. 1, 2, 3.75. Stockholm approach, in cargo 2046 with you on Aerosoft for Sierra departure. I got the name wrong.
Fin cargo 2046, roger.
Just in case.
1000 to go.
And now we are past the transition level. Let's pull the... There we go, pull to standard.
Order. Check.
What?
Check.
Do not do anything. Flaps up.
Flap 0.
After takeoff checklist to the line.
After takeoff checklist down to the line. Landing gear.
Up.
Flaps.
Retracted.
X.
On.
After takeoff checklist completed to the line.
I'll contact approach again because I set the wrong departure procedure. Stockholm approach, fin cargo 2046 with you on Aerosoft for Charlie.
Fin cargo 2046, climb to flight level 150. Fin cargo 2046, roger. Fin cargo 2046, climb to flight level 150.
Climb to flight level 150, fin cargo 2046. After takeoff checklist below the line.
After takeoff checklist below the line. Cargo ref.
Standard set.
Standard set. After takeoff checklist complete.
Okay, let me just explain what I did. On the initial contact to Stockholm approach, I set the wrong departure name. Doing such things can cause VoxATC to get stuck. As I contacted the approach again with the correct departure procedure, I was assigned immediately a climb to flight level 150. So That worked out fine. I usually like to hand fly until
2046 contact Memo Center 118.0.
fin cargo 2046. Okay, 118.6. Go. Malmö Center, fin cargo 2046 with you, leaving flight level 130, climbing flight level 150.
Cargo 2046, roger.
1000 to go.
Cargo 2046, climb to flight level 240.
Climb to flight level 240, fin cargo 2046. Now I can disarm the ground spoilers. Let's check that the auto brakes are off. Everything is looking good. We are accelerating to 270 knots for the climb. Let's zoom out the navigation display just to see where we are. There's our top of climb and there's our top of descent. The cruising altitude was calculated by FSX, and as you can see, the cruise phase is extremely short. So I'll have to get back to work. I'll plan the approach and landing based on the flight plan. We'll be looking at ESSA 3 Lima arrival. We'll have to check the weather to see if that still matches. I'll go to arrival, then select star. Oops, one thing that I forgot to do was check the weather. METAR, refresh just in case. 08 winds from 078 at 3 knots, variable between 018 to 158 kVk. And for the arrival, maybe we'll get, let's see, maybe 01 left. I'll check the plan.
1000 to go.
01 right. 2046, climb to flight level 330.
Oops, wrong button. Climb to flight level 30, fin cargo 2048.
Navigraph second.
Climb to flight level 330, fin cargo 2046. Okay, so I misheard. The altitude is 330. Yes, 330. And back to planning. So 01 right, and from ESSA 250 at ESSA, then down to 10,000, max 220 on the speed, and then a hard limit of 10,000. Let's activate that. And also for the approach, I'll choose 10 right, ILS. Oops, that's the thing that I forgot to check. What is our last waypoint in SUV? So for the approach, select approach, 01 right, ILS, in SUV transition. There we go. And the frequency for the ILS is 111.905. 1 is the identifier. Also, while I'm here, I'll tune the 80s on my... I'll set it active on my COM2, so I might be able to hear it once we get close enough to Kardemon. So 0141. Monday, 95. And now for the performance data. Out comes Top Cat. Winds from 080 at 3 knots. Variable, yes. And packs on, config full, anti-ice not required, landing mode manual, braking mode low. And we should have 2 kilometers landing this runway remaining after landing, and approach speed of 125. Let's check the where we will end up if we use low setting. There we go, over 3.5. So maybe here, this high speed exit at Alpha 6, and the gate will be assigned by VoxATC. So Alpha 6. That is my plan. Let's see how it works out. As I was changing between programs, I'll have to check that ATC didn't give me other instructions. No, climb to flight level 330 is the last instruction. QNH was 1019er. Temperature was 16. And winds
cargo 2046, climb to flight level 340.
Climb to flight level 340, fin cargo 2046.
Cargo 2046, descent to flight level 80.
Descent to flight level 80, fin cargo 2046. Okay.
1000 to
do that.
Cargo 2046, descent to flight level 80.
Descent to flight level 80, fin cargo 2046. Okay, I'll have to pull the and start the descent manually. Down to 8,000. let's give it 1,200 feet per minute, so that our aircraft will realize that we are descending even though we haven't reached our top of climb. I'll do the following. Cruise altitude, let's say 300. How are we doing? And I'll set, what was the first altitude restriction on the expected arrival? 10,000 feet. Well, let's set up something like 14,000 for ESSA. Or 12,000. I want to be at 12,000. No, still won't let me descend in managed mode. Interesting. Let's see if I have to level off at 3,000 for it to realize that we are descending. Oh, Extra, thank you for the comment. I'm glad you enjoy the videos, and I hope I can keep broadcasting these on a regular basis. Thanks for making my day. Strobe off yet again. Why isn't my Copilot having... I've got the APU on. So, the same mistakes I made on the last flight. I'll have to do better on the next one. Okay, you now realize that we are descending. Yes, thank you. Now we are in managed descent mode. Auto check fuel transfer. What's going on with the fuel? Okay, we have a small fuel imbalance, so the fuel transfer is going. Now let's check things. Arm ground spoilers, and I said auto brake low. Let me do another adjustment. Let's say the flight level would be 110, so there's only 1,000 feet left to burn until we start our before we start hitting the altitude restrictions on the arrival. So there we go. We have now the green dot is telling us that we are on our descent path, the calculated path. We are doing the descent rate of 1,900 feet per minute. Okay, and the performance numbers, it's getting quite hectic. So back to the performance numbers. The winds were from 080 at 3 knots. Transition altitude is 7,000.
Nav center, Golden Air 181, withdrew and flight level.
Approach speed was 125.
Golden Air 181, roger.
And the minimums. Let me just double check that I didn't miss any messages. Nope, all fine. For the approach, transition altitude 7,000 feet, and the minimums 3,500 feet. Whoa. No, there we go. Decision altitude. 50 feet above field elevation, that's 730 on the barrel. 730. And fly plan is in the VoxATC window, so all good there. And also one thing that I forgot to set up is that at our last waypoint we have a speed restriction of 250. Okay, I'll set up the approach brief based on my expectation of ILS landing and standard terminal arrival procedures. Anti-ice is not star, ILS runway condition dry, anti-ice not required, flaps full, auto brakes low, packs on, MDA is 730.
Are you ready for the approach brief?
Okay.
Okay. We will be arriving by the ATC assigned star. For the approach, we can expect the ILS. Landing runway condition is dry. Anti-ice is not required. We will use full flaps for landing. Auto brake, we will use the low setting. The packs will be on. For the MDA, it's 730 feet. Any questions?
Let's check the no questions.
Approach brief complete.
Okay, let's see how this turns out. One possibility is that we'll be given vectors without the arrival procedure. So if we get, let's say, within 15 to 20 miles from ESSA and without getting clearance for the arrival, I'll remove the altitude constraint and start descending to 8,000 feet. Now I have programmed that even though we are clear to 8,000 feet or flight level 80, I have told the aircraft to be at flight level 110 at ESSA, as I'm expecting that we're given a star. Also, another thing I forgot to look at was the minimum safe altitude. And here I have the Navigraph chart for the ESSA 3 Lima arrival. 3,900 feet is the minimum safe altitude, so even though ATC will clear me below it during vectoring, I will not go lower, as I was about to learn a hard lesson when flying to Palma de Mallorca, where I almost hit a mountain. There was only 100 feet between me and the mountain. So 3,900 feet, the minimum safe altitude.
Cargo 246, cleared via ESSA 3 Lima runway 01 left arrival.
Cleared via ESSA 3 Lima runway 01 left arrival, fin cargo 2046. So good planning pays off. Now I can remove or program in the arrival. ESSA 3 Lima, insert. And now check the constraints, 250 knots at ESSA, then at Cardamom radials there's 220 at flight level 100, that matches what we saw. And then there's a flight plan discontinuity. I forgot to select arrival, vias and INSU. Now let's check again. The constraints match. And from INSU Opera Sickly. So good. We have the performance data entered in. We got the approach that we were expecting. We now have it programmed in. Now it's time to enjoy the flight as we descend. Getting near flight. Yes.
Cargo 2046, descent to flight level 70.
Descent to flight level 70, fin cargo 2046.
Cargo 2046, contact to Bodo Center 118.55.
118.55, fin cargo 2046. 118.55, 118.55. Photo center, fin cargo 2046, with you at flight level 110, descending to flight level 70 on ESSA 3 Lima arrival. Well, that wasn't good.
Aircraft to say again.
Photo center, fin cargo 2046, with you on ESSA 3 Lima, runway 01 left.
Fin cargo 2046, roger.
This is Gardner 1.
Fin cargo 2046, contact Garda-Ramon sector east approach 119.907.
Information. Delta 07.
119.907, fin cargo 2046.
Surface wind calm. Visibility greater than 20 kilometers.
907, that was a quick
Temperature
contact.
132.33.
You're hearing the Aegis
101
in the background. I'll
no
mute it for now.
Information Delta.
Oops.
This is Gardner 1.
There we go. Oops. Wrong view. There we go. And Cardamom sector east approach, fin cargo 2046, with you on ESSA 3 Lima, runway 01 left.
Cargo 2046. Fly heading 265, descent to flight level 36. Expect vector stop ILS runway 01 left. Approach Gardermoen QNH 10190.
Fly heading 265, descent to flight level 36, QNH 1019, fin cargo 2046. 65.
Flight level 100.
6,600, let's put the 1019er. ILS is blinking, so we can go down to set the landing system on. 3,600 was the altitude we were given, and I will set it to the minimum safe altitude for now. So I'm expecting that we are given a shortcut to the start of the approach. What I'll do now is start slowing down. I'll take manual control of the speed, set it to 175. I'll have to what I have to do now is slow down the rate of descent so we can slow for the flaps 1 speed. And forgive me for not speaking during the approach. My co-pilot starts to go mad and I need him for the landing.
Turn right heading 270.
Turn right heading 270, fin cargo 2046. So now I'll execute the sterile cockpit in order to use the FS2 group. Flaps 1.
Speed checked. Flaps 1.
Flaps 2.
Speed checked. Flaps 2.
And as I can see, I can now see from the navigation display that we're given a shortcut to the start of the approach, so I'll set up a direct to Insul There we go. Insert. And now I'll have the descent path active again. And I'll start descending. More quickly now as we have the flaps and sterile cockpit.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will be arriving at our destination shortly. If you are making a connection with another flight, please
approach checklist.
Approach checklist. Briefing.
Confirmed.
ECAM status.
Checked.
Seatbelts.
On.
Power ref.
1019 set.
1019 set. NDA decision height.
Set.
Engine mode selector.
Op.
Approach
Normal.
checklist complete.
You are also requested to turn off all electronic devices. Stow these devices with your aircraft. Please be careful when you open the overhead bins, as items may have shifted during our flight. Please stow your tray table and return your seats to their upright positions. And check security seatbelt. We will be landing shortly. Thank you for your cooperation.
One thing that I forgot to do was tune in the tower frequency. I'll set up this one as a standby for COM 1. There we go.
In cargo 2046, turn right heading 280.
Turn right heading 280, fin cargo 2046.
Flight deck. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. Captain, the cabin is secure.
Thank you.
Cargo 2046, turn right heading 300, descent to altitude 2,600 feet, 19 miles to touchdown.
Turn right heading 300, descent to altitude 2,600 feet, fin cargo 2046. As you can see, there are still altitude restrictions based on the approach. This is at 4,000 feet and Sigla is at 3,500 feet, so I'm descending very slowly. Currently doing about, well, now we're close to 4,000, so altitude restriction for what's the waypoint? Across? Yes, across. So, even though we are cleared down to 2,600, I'm not descending extremely fast.
In cargo 2046, turn right heading 310.
Turn right heading 310, fin cargo 2046.
In cargo 2046, turn right heading 345, descent to altitude 2,600 feet, 13 miles to touchdown.
Turn right heading 345, descend to altitude 2,600 feet, fin cargo 2046.
In cargo 2046, maintain altitude 2,600 feet when established on the localizer descent on the glide path 12 miles to touchdown. Contact Garden Motor 118.3.
Maintain altitude 2,600 feet when established on the localizer, descend on the glide path 118.3, fin cargo 2046. Flaps 3.
Speed checked. Flap 3.
Gear down.
Gear down.
Flaps full.
Speed checked. Flaps full. Cabin crew seats for landing.
What?
Checked.
Okay, my mistake. What I did was tune in the wrong ILS. That's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake.
1019, cross-checked.
Landing checklist.
Landing checklist. Cabin crew.
Advised.
Auto thrust.
Set.
ECAM memo.
Landing no blue.
Landing checklist complete.
Target 2046, clear to land. Runway 01, left surface wind calm.
Clear to land, runway 01 left, fin cargo 2046.
Carter Tower, Mike, ready for departure.
Remember Dr. Right after departure, climb to flight level 60.
After departure, climb to flight level 60. Mike.
Remember Dr. Right hold position.
Hold position. Mike.
A bit low. Set.
Localizer.
Flight slope. Flight slope.
400.
Flight slope.
1000.
Flight
Guide.
slope. Flight slope.
And the errors you are hearing are caused by the fact that I tune in the
Checked.
wrong ILS frequency.
1019.
100.
Cross-checked. 100 above.
50, 40, minimum 20,
Speed.
10, retard 5,
Reverse green, diesel. Spoilers. knots.
Cargo 2046, turn right in the intersection.
We'll go fin cargo 2046.
Women November, right, runway 01, left line.
Runway 01 left, line, limit November, right.
Fin cargo 2046, contact Garter on ground, 121.67.
121.67, fin cargo 2046.
Women November, right, surface, wind, calm, clear, take off.
Clear, take off, limit November, right.
Okay to clean up.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the conclusion of our flight. Please remain seated with your seatbelts fastened until the captain has turned off the seatbelt sign and the aircraft is parked safe.
Cardamom ground, Finnair, fin cargo 2046, vacated runway.
Fin cargo 2046, taxi to gauge 179er via November Golf.
We will hope to see you again on a future flight. Thank you and goodbye.
Oops, my pen isn't working anymore.
Checked.
Taxi to gate 179er via November Golf and Echo fin cargo 2046. Okay.
Checked.
As my pen stopped working, I'll have to check that I had the correct readback. So gate 179er, yes, correct. November Golf and Echo, yes. Good, let's see how it works out. We exited the high-speed exit that I was expecting, so at least that part worked okay. So, ground, select taxiways, taxi to parking, 179er, 9er via November Golf Echo. November Golf and Echo. So cross over to November, then a left turn to Golf, then right turn Echo, and at the far end we have our gate or parking position. So a right turn to November coming up. I'll quickly look at the chat window. I'll hope this aircraft is able to taxi on its own. What is that map? The map, I showed you two maps. One was from the Aivlasoft electronics flight bag program, and the other one was from Navigraph charts. Once I'm parked, I'll show them to you again, and so you'll know which one was the more interesting one. So now on Golf, next right turn to Echo. Getting quite a low FPS currently, but I was still able to make quite a decent landing, even though I messed up the ILS approach frequency. There's 175. Do not crash on me. And at the far end is our gate. Oh, it seems parking position. There we go. Let's turn off. We should have turned the taxi lights off earlier. Now time to shut down the engines. Cockpit to ground. Cockpit to ground.
Go ahead.
Please connect external power.
Roger, connecting the GPU.
Go ahead. Okay. Still waiting for the external power. And now it's available. Let's turn off the APU, please.
Okay.
And shut down the APU.
Captain, the GPU is now connected.
Thank you.
Okay, the chocks are in now and you can release the parking brake.
Thank you. Okay. There we go.